Craig, you were off yesterday by looking at your expletive-laden tweets, suggesting you're watching this game. And
well, the first thing that came to mind was pretty much the same as you guys, was Arteta's comments from 5 or 6 weeks ago about changing the goalkeeper when he felt the time was right. And I was thinking, you know, he's not going to do it, is he? Is he going to do it? But I think here he's just completely burying this problem, which you can do when they're winning.
Yep.
But you can't continue to come back. Maybe you can, but I think it's unlikely. In tight games, giving up 3 goals against, you know, one of the weaker teams in the Premier League and relying on a last-minute, last-ditch winner. It's not going to get you to the league title. Some might say it's league title winning shows the courage of potential title winners, but I would look more, we're talking about the problem that is the goalkeeper that's not going away. It's not a one-off. He was brought in to be better with his feet. I've not really seen that. The stats, laugh, the stats would say he was saving more shots than Aaron Ramsdale.
Right.
Nonsense. He's even struggling in that department now, and he's got absolutely no command of his area. Physically, no stature, no command of his penalty box, which gives the heebie-jeebies to centre-halves, because now all of a sudden you're dropping off a bit deeper thinking, I'm going to have to head this. I'm going to have to win this in my 6-yard box because this goalkeeper can't come out and command it.
What will it
That's
take
a
him
huge
to
problem.
change his mind, do you think?
I think maybe, honestly, I think if he has another day like this and they lose, I think he might have to change his mind.
Really?
See, the problem is, though, if Arteta plays Raya in the next Premier League game...
Which is against Aston Villa, by the way.
You know, we've been talking about how good...
Oh, he'll play him, Stevie.
We've been talking about how good a soldier Ramsdale's been. But that can only last for so long. Right. And I think you saw with the thing with his dad. His dad's only repeating what he's feeling.
But he's not going to drop Raya, is he, for this game?
Well, and see, and this is where it's going to make it even worse, because if he doesn't drop Raya after throwing 2 in, he 100%, if he hasn't already lost Ramsdale, has lost him, right? And what the consequences of that will be, Ramsdale, although he'll come in and train, isn't going to be at his very best. You know, we always talk about competition between players for positions, but when it gets to a situation like this where you as a player know that regardless of what the other guy does, you're not playing, then your commitment drops. And so he's going to be coming in and he's not going to be training at his full, which is going to affect him whenever he does, if he does get a chance.
Right.
Now, the only reason he's going to get a chance is if eventually, if Arteta goes, I can't keep doing this. So now you're going to start a goalkeeper who's not ready for it. So you're just creating problem after problem.
I was watching the show yesterday and I was taking notes.
Well...
But I saw listening to Shaq. And,
yes.
You know, and Shaq's right. He wanted 2 number 1s, and now he's got 2 goalkeepers that have lost their confidence. One who knows he's not the manager's favourite, and the other one, regardless of what you say, who's making a lot of mistakes. There was the bad... I can't remember them all, but the bigger ones was in Lens. The Man City game, which was the big game of the season, they won, but that was despite him, not because of him. If you think back to playing the ball out from the back and also flapping at the crosses that he flapped at, which was similar to the goal he gave away, one of the goals he gave away against Luton. So you've now got 2 guys that were... Raya at Brentford was excellent, and Ramsdale at Arsenal was excellent. Now the 2 of them are both got so many doubts in their mind, I have no idea what this... And it's all, by the way, you talked about it yesterday, it is all the doing of one man, the manager.
There's one thing that may come to Arteta's saving here with Aaron Ramsdale, and that it's Euros next summer. And Ramsdale wants to play well to get himself, or keep himself, in the England squad. Because right now, he's seen that slip away. But to Stevie's point, listen, I'll speak personally. If it were me, I've checked out.
Right.
You know, I'll play. I'm trying to play well to get myself in the England squad, but I'm not. It's in spite of the manager as opposed to for it. But I said this some weeks ago. I feel that Arteta has boxed himself into a corner with how he managed that, bringing Raya in over Ramsdale. That now he has to continue to show faith with him. And then to your question, I think Arteta only changes his mind, only drops Raya, if you have 2 or 3 games in a row like this.
Okay.
Whether they cost him or not, but if if these kinds of errors keep happening with some consistency, as I say, over 3 games, then he has absolutely no choice. But other than that, he has to continue to back his man because of how...
So do you sit and... If you're Ramsdale, Shaq, right, do you sit and think, right, it's going to happen at some point, I'm back in, or...
I'm leaving in January.
January, do you...
If I'm leaving in January.
Are you already into that manager's
Yes, I am.
training? I'm saying, listen, you know, you dropped me after the way I performed last... You could argue Arsenal were in the position they were in for the bulk of the season. Big part of it was down to him. Some of the say, and that's not that he never made any mistakes.
I think that there's a lot at play, certainly mentally for Aaron Ramsdale. And as much as, yes, by the end of the season wasn't as good as he had been for the previous season and a half, he did an article in the summer where he spoke about his wife having a miscarriage earlier in January, I think in January of last year. If that doesn't play on you mentally, and if the response of the club is then to leave you out, to bring another goalkeeper in, again, you are switched off. You have absolutely no loyalty to this manager, given those circumstances. As footballers, we deal with a lot off the pitch that we aren't allowed to talk about. And if that is how the response you get, I'm sorry, I'm switching off. If I'm Aaron Ramsdale, I've already said to my agent, if I don't play every game between now and January 1st, I'm gone. Let the manager, let the club know that's my stand. That's my stand right now. So while Mikel Arteta may come out and say, listen, I have 2 number 1s, Aaron Ramsdale is still a number 1, I still view, however he wants to kind of polish this, if my client does not play every single game between now and January, and through January, we're moving.
I like Agent Shaka.
Yeah,
Don't mess.
You got a second job in the